You guys are not going to believe this. Sometimes I don't even believe it myself. How can I still call myself an artist when I haven't made any professional art for over a decade? Seriously, how dare I? Hi, I'm Ken, and I'll explain, but I've also got a massive reveal at the end of this video, so stick around to check that out. Back to the explanation. There are two big questions that I need to answer. One, how can I still consider myself an artist? Well, I've been an artist my entire life. I've always loved to draw. It was my escape. I used to spend hours and hours and hours a day drawing. It's a massive part of who I am. And question two, after all of this time, am I too old to restart my art career? Can I find that part of me again? Can I really learn all the tools and techniques needed to create the projects I want at the level they need to be? And will any of it matter with AI bullying its way into the art world? Let's find out. But first, a little tour. This is my desk where I've taught around 700 students to have their own art careers. This is a Cintiq, which I've used to make spreadsheets, production workflows, org charts, and a few logos. This is my Mac Studio that I've used to manage and direct the career paths of other artists to achieve their career goals. This is my cat, Chicken. She is very sweet. This is my wall of amazing art, none of which I've created. I'm sure you'll all know the great works of Ian McHugh, Simon Stollenhag, Ralph McQuarrie, Brendan McCarthy, Pascal Blanche, Spark, and others. Inspiring. This is my treadmill, and it is definitely not a metaphor for me going nowhere with my art in the last decade. This is where some of my hats are hanging. And here are some more. And here are just a few more. I have a problem. This is a small portion of my dusty collectibles, collected over the years. Obviously Star Wars, and a various project I've worked on, and some books. Look at all those books. I have more. This is a stack of art supplies. A lot of the pads are empty, but those that are used are filled with meeting notes, to-do lists, and daily schedules. Sometimes there's a doodle or two as well. And this is a back scratcher, essential when you're procrastinating instead of making art. Wait a second. Hold on. Yeah, wait. For the love of God, focus! Yeah, that can work. Wait on. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, you like that little chicken? Cute little chicken. Look how cute you are. Such a chicken. What? What? And this is my inner artist voice. A voice that has kept me from returning to my artist path for far too long now. This is me about to tell you how this all happened and what I'm going to ask you to help me do. Over the years, and after drawing, designing, and animating on multiple well-known properties, I began to move into art direction and then art management positions. As I made those moves, I spent less and less time creating art and much less time learning new tools to enhance my capabilities as an artist. I got left behind, and it was my own fault. As it stands now, after 27 years in the industry, I'm an artist who doesn't make art. But after those amazing 27 years of working on everyone else's projects and leading teams to help realize other creators' visions, I'm finally ready to create my own. I've learned a ton. I understand what it takes to make great art and how hard you have to work to do it. There are so many incredible artists out there that inspire and intimidate equally. That's why I need to level up my skills to make my projects happen. There's a problem though. The amount of self-doubt and insecurity that exists within my artist brain, I mean, it's always there for any artist, but I've got 10 plus years of not making art to fuel that inner artist voice. And this guy has all the receipts, and he doesn't let up. So that's where you all come in. I'm 100% committed to this, but I'm going to need some advice, some insight, and hopefully some support along the way. I do have some skills. Other than drawing and painting and rendering, software-wise, I've used Photoshop for 2 decades. I'm working in Clip Studio now, and I'm using Nomad Sculpt. But I need a 3D tool integrated into my workflow. So what tool should I learn? Unreal Engine is amazing, or should I just start with Blender? What do you think?
You need to learn how to use a blender? You just stick food in it and turn it on.
See what I'm working with? But why do I need to learn all of this? Is it ego? Curiosity? Just keeping up with the Joneses? Staying ahead of AI? Well, you remember that big reveal I talked about at the beginning of the video? Well, that's why. Okay, scripted segment over. Let's get into the heart of this. The big reveal. So what's this all about? Why do I need to do this? I mean, I think the reality is that the project I want to work on, I could do traditionally. I could, with my current skill set, put out something that I'd be really proud of and excited about, but it would be limited. And I need it to be amazing. And to do that, I need to incorporate new skills, and I need to level up some skills. And so that's what I'm trying to do. This new project I'm working on is an old project. I've had it on the back burners for years, but I've brought it to life in a few ways, a couple times, and I just never put the time in that it deserved. So now I'm doing that, and I need to add some 3D packages. I need to add just more skill, more 3D, so that I can replicate vehicles and ships and weapons and locations more easily than I could have if it was traditional, 2D with my current skill set. So that's really the genesis of this. And that's what my journey is going to be to learning this new technology. And so, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to get going on that. So if you're excited about being part of that journey as well and watching me fumble my way through these sort of gestational years, hopefully not years, weeks and months of incorporating these new skills, I'd love to have you along. And so just subscribe below, like the video, of course, please. And if you're really interested in learning about what I know and what my experience has brought me to, and you're curious about your own art journey, please check out my CONJURE Academy. I've got mentorships available that can help young artists and just emerging artists really trying to find their way in the industry. And so check that out. Leave a comment, leave some feedback on that, and also please leave a comment and feedback on what tools you think I should be focusing on, like I mentioned earlier. So I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you're excited about the journey like I am, and it's going to be fun having you along the ride, and let's see what we can do. Ciao.
That looks stupid. Looks stupid.